So right after the attacks began in 2011, if you look at the date here, it says 2011, okay? Right after the attacks began, I began complaining to the Attorney General's office and the Department of Justice attorneys that were dealing with me with the lawsuit that I had filed against the FBI in Louisville in 2011, in April of 2011. And then this is dated June. Yeah, if you look at the facts, it's 6/29/2011. That's what it says here, 6/29/2011. The attacks actually began at the end of March and beginning of April of 2011, right after I filed my federal lawsuit and served the witnesses in New Orleans. As soon as I served those witnesses in New Orleans, they began the attacks. Well, this is a report from an American doctor in Louisville. See, those are American doctors right there. Those are ear doctors. Those are not audiologists. Those are ear doctors. Okay? This is an audiology report, an audiological evaluation, but I also saw the ear doctor who couldn't understand, who told me he couldn't explain the damage. Well, I think he knew, but irregardless, I have medical evidence to show that I'm being attacked. And you know, it doesn't stop there. I mean, these attacks have been going on around the world for quite some time. They're directed energy attacks by tower, satellite, or mobile platform, I believe. This is one of them in Nicaragua, in a hammock. This doesn't even include the harassment, the violence, the organized stalking, the gaslighting, all that goes on with that. This is just a directed energy attack, and it's one of thousands. Meaning I've been attacked every day. This is medical evidence showing the trauma to my ears. Let's turn it up. Suddenly I don't have any. Hold
lower.
on.
The results in the right and left have to be above this line.
Right.
So they say pass. Now we go to the high pitch ones, which has the 4 and 6,000 in both ears. It says refer, which means that there is no emissions in the 4 and 6,000 hertz.
So I can't pick up anything in the 4 and 6,000? Very little?
Very little. Very little.
Because of the damage to the...
And you have it here too.
Because
This
of the
one is a
damage.
little lower in the
And she
4,000.
said, yeah, that's right.
It's worse in the 6 than in the 4.
Okay.
Okay? The rest are the lower frequencies.
Is that why I can't hear S certain syllables?
Yeah, it could be. It could be some of the distortion that you have is because of that.
Some of the distortion.
Is this consistent with being attacked with a high-pitched screeching sound? Sustained attack, long-term attack?
If you're exposed to a high frequency sound,
Yeah.
it's gonna damage.
Yeah.
It's a loud high frequencies. Of course, that's
So-
the part that.
So that's here's the doctor right there. That's just the audiologist. I've also spoke with the doctor. This is the audiologist.
El daño es en la parte de esta es la parte de la cóclea. Entonces la cóclea, esta es la célula ciliar externa y la interna, un pelito aquí arriba. Aquí están dañadas las internas, pero él no tiene la dañada la interna, es la externa la que está dañada cuando sale aquí. Es como un daño ya.
What she's doing, she's explaining to the audiologist in the room that I have all this damage to my nerves and my ears. She's doing it in Spanish because this is in Nicaragua. I'm the one taking the video. I'm the actual patient there.
Can you show me on this thing where the damage is?
The damage. You actually have a slight hearing loss in both ears. Okay.
See the damage?
And take a picture of the other one too, because I didn't do the bone conduction here.
Yeah.
But in the
And
other
the
one
government,
is the bone
American
also.
government,
But it's
actually
the
tried
same, so I don't have
to
to
corrupt
do
these
because it's the same
examinations.
as last week.
They actually prevented me from going back to this hospital
You have a slight
for more ear examinations.
general.
I was blocked from going back to this hospital, and there was no reason for it.
loss in 4 and 6,000 hertz.
Okay, that's because...
Here's the doctor in South America.
So, this is Brian to the ear doctor's office in Quito, Ecuador.
So this is the ear doctor. This is not an audiologist. This is the actual ear doctor conducting the tests. Ear, nose, and throat doctor in Ecuador. And as I was showing her videos of the previous damage that I had stored on YouTube, suddenly the internet in her office went dead and couldn't show her any more videos. That was very interesting. But she saw some of them. Again, there's some type of global protocol going on here. What you saw was Central America, Nicaragua. This is South America. This is Ecuador. My attorney saw these videos from my human rights attorney in Quito, Ecuador, saw the video of the Ecuadorian doctors diagnosing the acoustic trauma in my ears, and he stated that this is irrefutable proof you're being attacked. So people who want to say that Brian too is crazy have to deal with the fact that I've got all this trauma, this acoustic trauma in my ears. And where did it come from? Where did the trauma come from if I'm crazy and I'm not being attacked? Why are people chasing me with knives and machetes? And why am I constantly encountering all this violence and chaos in my financial transactions and my social and regular daily activities? No one has this much trouble in life. It defies the null hypothesis of probability, meaning as far as proof is concerned, it is an actual fact that it is happening. This is the ear doctor in South America. This is not an audiologist. This is the ear, nose, and throat doctor stating I have acoustic trauma. She states it in Spanish, but you can understand it. I asked her to speak in Spanish.
March 24th, 2017, and I was trying to show the doctor the YouTube ear examinations I posted on YouTube showing the previous damage, and suddenly the internet went dead.
Suddenly the internet went dead.
This is the tactic that they use.
As I was showing her all the videos of the previous damage. This is the ear doctor.
Can you explain in Espanol? Yeah.
Trauma acústico.
Trauma acústico.
Bilateral.
Bilateral. Bilateral.
Hearing loss.
Hearing loss.
Bilateral hearing loss.
10 decibels.
And acoustic trauma scene.
Let's do that again.
Trauma acústico.
Trauma acústico.
Bilateral.
Bilateral.
Bilateral. And hearing loss and
hearing loss.
Bilateral hearing loss.
This is just some of the evidence that I have. I actually have the reports too. I don't just have the video. I actually have the reports, and the reports are actually contained in the videos. They've actually deleted thousands of videos. I count between 3,000 and 4,000 they've deleted. They've taken down 3 YouTube channels. Never mind, it was all evidence and lawsuits already filed, but they don't care anything about that. They tried everything they could do to say I'm crazy. But if I'm crazy, where did the trauma to my ears come from? And why has it gotten progressively worse? And why is the attorney and the doctor saying that it's getting progressively worse? No, my symptoms are consistent with my complaints of being attacked with directed energy. It is happening. And it is an example that is happening to many, many victims. People are being tortured and murdered, targeted, tortured, and murdered in America and around the world by the American government for training, research, and development in artificial superintelligence technologies. They're reverse engineering the human mind of their victims. I don't have time to go into that. Look at my previous videos. They're reverse engineering the will, intellect, and emotion, the brainwaves, building cognitive models for the purposes of training, research, and development in artificial superintelligence. That's what's going on. And I presented this evidence at my asylum claim in Spain, as you see right here, but not just here, in Ecuador and other places where they didn't corrupt, where they were able, the torture was so severe in Belgium and Switzerland and other places, I was forced to leave before I could finish the asylum process. But I got pretty far along here in Spain and Ecuador, got to the courts. And, it's just, there's medical evidence. You can't say a person is crazy when they have medical evidence of the attacks. Anybody who wants to try to discredit me has to deal with the medical evidence. Well, the Americans just want to make this go away. But it's not going to just go away, because there are countries around the world that I've been to where, I applied for asylum where a record of this medical trauma exists. and where I said I was being continuously attacked and stalked and harassed, even in countries where I was applying for asylum or seeking to apply for asylum, like Nicaragua. I sought for humanitarian protection, met with the police who told me I would be fine as long as I obeyed the laws of their state. Well, I wasn't fine. I was attacked with machetes and everything else. But I've been attacked that way here in the States, brutally. I have all this damage from these attacks. You know, and they've tried relentlessly to set me up. They tried to they just tried to set me up in Ecuador, in Mexico and Panama, and but they've tried relentlessly to set me up. But how do you set me up when I've got all this medical evidence to prove that the attacks are happening? It's not this is an American doctor. It's not my imagination. The doctors have diagnosed the damage, and you know, just as I'm boarding the plane to try to get to China, I'm at the airport in LAX. Suddenly I've got to go. I can't get any medical treatment at the medical clinic at the airport, and I got to go to a hospital. And then within 24 hours of landing in LAX, with a plane, booked all the way to Beijing, suddenly passport stolen. You know, in and of itself it means nothing, but when you combine it together with everything else, and the fact that the Department of Justice and the FBI refuses to release records, saying they just don't have any on me. That went on for many years until I made a request by phone in China, and the Chinese recorded the call, and then the government says I'm crazy. Sent all this information saying I was psycho. Well, that's just medical COINTELPRO. You know, that's not. Here is a graph.
So what? This is my right ear,
Yes.
and this is my left ear.
Yes. Please.
Now, this is the audiologist. Again, they've been trying to corrupt. They've been trying to corrupt these examinations for years. Okay, and they succeeded in doing so in certain places, but not here. Not here. Although the audiologist stopped the examination, didn't continue the examination, said I was experiencing too much pain. I didn't ask her to stop. She just unilaterally decided she was going to stop. She shouldn't have done that. But this is a graph of my ears. And you can see the damage is now progressively worse than you saw initially in this video. They're filtering my videos so people don't see the truth. But the problem that the government has is there are too many victims. It's not just me. So they got me surrounded with all these psychiatrists and psychologists, forensics, coming, trying to determine if I'm crazy or not. Well, if I'm crazy, where did the trauma to my ears come from? Where did the trauma to my ears come from? This is an acoustic, this is a hearing test, this is an evaluation. No, my complaints are consistent. My symptoms are consistent with my complaints. I am being attacked. This is medical evidence of the attacks. As the attorney in Ecuador, human rights attorney and asylum attorney, whom I paid $5,000 to help me, who I'm thoroughly convinced was corrupted as the others were, William Bingle, etc., in Toledo, Ohio. He stated, at the beginning, he said that the medical evidence was irrefutable proof that I'm being attacked. Here, you're looking at irrefutable proof I'm being attacked. This is Brian 2 in Miami International Airport, still being attacked. Right now, ears ringing, head and ears and pulsating pain, high-pitched screeching sound. People don't understand the technology. They live in the 20th century. They don't understand 21st century technology. They don't even attempt to try. Occam's razor principle, hypergame theory, etc. But the problem the government has is that I'm not the only victim. There are too many victims now for them to say that this is public hysteria or, all these people are crazy. You can't have thousands of people suffering from the same delusion. It's not medically, scientifically possible for thousands of people to be suffering from the same delusions, despite the government using medical COINTELPRO and other tactics to prevent medical evidence from corroborating the fact that it's happening. It's now getting out. It's now proof that this is occurring. This is Brian 2.